Good afternoon. This is Jan Hibbard from Log Cabin Leather. I'm here in the basement of my log cabin home where I make all my handmade leather products. And today I'm going to tell you, or I'm continuing to tell you, about how I make these beautiful little shapes, which is part of a new collection that I have coming out in January. So now I showed this the other day. I mentioned yesterday that I make the patterns. I start with something very large like this and then resize it to the smaller size. And then I use a machine called the Glow Forge, which is what you hear making strange noises behind me. It's called the Glow Forge, and that's what cuts all these little shapes. And now once I have this large shape, I put it under the head of the machine over here, which I'm not sure if you can see that in here. This machine, I put it under the cover, and it will scan it. And then once it's scanned into the machine, it will keep the pattern, and then I can resize it to whatever size I want. So I could print it as big as this if I wanted, any size in between. So now I'm actually using a slightly different pattern than the one I'm showing here, but I am going to make it in, a smaller size. And now the machine is telling me it's ready because there's a light that's flashing here. And again, I'm not sure how well that shows on the camera. There's a white light right here. When that flashes, I don't know how to split the screen or to actually show you what I have to do on my computer. But once I put this pattern under there and scanned it, then I pull the pattern out. Then I put the piece of leather underneath the machine or whatever material you happen to be using. You can use all sorts of materials with this. I put it under the machine. Once it's under the machine, it will scan the material. So whatever random shape the material is, it's going to scan the exact shape. So I know exactly, if I can fit something in these little spaces, which is what's really cool about it, because I can fit things in these little tiny spaces. And so that's what I'm doing now. The machine is telling me now it's ready to copy because this white light is coming on. I'm not sure what will show if I do this. I'm going to flick my screen for a minute because this is the pattern under there. It says it's going to take 2 minutes and 50 seconds to print it. I'm not sure if I'm going to stay live that whole time, but what it's going to do is first it is going to engrave the center of it and the lines on it, so it's going to go back and forth. You can hear it going back and forth, and it's going to print all the lines on the middle of the pattern. And then once it's done all that, then it's going to cut the outline of it. So again, for this project, the size it is, the largest project I've done is, so far really is about that big and up to 14 minutes or so. So it really depends on what you're printing and so forth. I apologize for the noise. There's nothing else I could do about that. It is a little bit loud. Really not much louder than like a vacuum cleaner or whatever. And usually I'm not standing right this close to it either, so it's not as loud normally for me, because once it's working, I mean, you do have to keep an eye on it in case, something goes wrong. Once in a while with me, the piece of leather is curled, whatever. I use magnets because the plate that you put it on is metal, so that the leather stays in place and doesn't blow. That's why you always want to do the engraving first and then the cutting, because once the piece is cut out, sometimes it will curl a little bit, being leather. Obviously, if it was wood or something like that, it wouldn't. But with leather, it does curl, so I have to weigh it down and put magnets on it, again, so it won't curl. But you have to do the cutting process at the end. So it's going to cut that out. I'll have the little tiny shapes, and then I'm going to continue with this jewelry line. So I think that's where I'm going to leave it for now. Tomorrow in the video, I'll show you what I cut out and a little bit more. It's a little hard because, again, I mean, you can see, I don't know if I can show you the machine. I don't know, you can see the head moving back and forth there. So I'm printing something small, so now it's engraving. And basically, it's going to print that piece out. It's going to cut it out. And then it will be ready for adding the color and so forth, which is what I'll be talking about in the next video, is how I colored the pieces once I've got them all cut out. So thank you for joining me today. Again, my website is logcabinleatherbyjan.net, where you can find all these beautiful products online. That's pretty much where I'm going to end it for today, I think. Let me just check real quick here. Again, I'm not sure what it will show on the camera. It says it has 21 seconds left, so I guess we'll wait and I'll show it to you today instead of waiting until tomorrow. Now it's doing the cutting process, I can tell by the sound. It makes a little bit of smoke. That's why it does have to be vented out. Makes a little bit of a burning smell. That's why it has to be vented, and that's why I do have it in this kind of hooded room, because I can close it off. You don't want to close it off too much, but to help alleviate the smell and the odor a little bit. You do have to let it cool down for a second, and give it just another minute. And it should tell me that it's all set. Make a clicking noise. That tells me I can open it. And so here is what I cut out. And again, it's a little, probably 50-cent piece size. But again, I could do much smaller than that. I could do dime size if I want. I could do even smaller than that. So that's where I'm going to leave it for now. So that's a piece for my new collection that I'm working on. So thank you very much for joining me. I hope I'll see you again soon. Stay safe, and please stay tuned. Again, I'm going to hopefully post these at 12:30 each day, which is a regular time I post everything on Facebook. So if you want to see these, that's where it will be. I would appreciate any comments and things like that, because it always helps a small business like mine grow. Thank you very much. Have a great day. Bye.